So my question to any cybersecurity person is always like, there is this sort of constant chase of a cop and an attacker, right? How do you stay 2 steps ahead? How do you always, you have to make sure, especially with AI now. Now, it's a new technology that everybody is learning out how it actually works, including the companies that build the models.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So the top model companies right now, one of them is Anthropic, and they're spending a lot of money on a team called Mechanistic Interpretability, whose main job is to figure out how do these models actually think. We know these models work, we don't know how they work, right? And so with that in mind, with such a new technology which has so much power, right? How do you think about and how do you personally manage? For example, let's say a new model comes out with a completely new attack vector. And you, as a person who's offering cybersecurity services and who has a product, how do you stay ahead of the curve, or what are the sort of best practices you follow?
That's a very interesting question, actually. See, this is one of the reasons that I chose this industry to work. Because always, every day, something new happens in the technology field. And from a cybersecurity perspective, we need to be aware of what is happening. We can only protect what we know, right? But it's always some simple steps, some simple hygiene practices that you have to take care. So if you ask me what I would do, I don't trust anyone. That's the first thing. Especially in digital, landscape. I don't trust anything and anyone. I take a minute to think about it. Let's say I've received this text saying that you have to click this link.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will lose access to your bank account. You have to update your KYC. Take a moment, think about it, whether it makes sense. Someone had sent me a text asking me to click on this, provide some KYC data. I provided my KYC data a while ago. It's active and everything. I know. And there is no reason for the bank to send it to me, right? And I will think about a moment and say, nah, it doesn't work like that. Maybe it's a true message. It's an actual message that comes from the bank.
Yeah.
I don't care. They will call back, right?
Yes.
I don't have to click a link and provide all this information. I scan a QR code. How many of you, when you pay someone using an UPI application, right? You scan some QR code, then it will show you the name and the UPI ID.
Yeah.
You validate it always. Not many people does. They will just scan the QR code, send money. But QR code is just a visual representation of someone's UPI ID, right?
Yeah.
Did you take a moment? I mean, have you ever took a moment to read it and validate it against the entity or a person you're paying it? Did you ask him, is this your ID or this company's ID? You're paying IRCTC. Maybe you're booking a ticket.
Yeah.
And you're doing it through QR code. Did you ever read whether it is going to IRCTC or some other entities there?
No.
That's how it, basically you don't have to see, there is a zero trust model, concept in cybersecurity. And personally, I call myself that, I always work under the impression that I'm always breached. That is another concept in cybersecurity. You always work under the impression that you're breached. Your defenses are breached.
Yeah.
You're exposed. So the next question is, how do you reduce the impact? Right? Earlier, companies used to sell cybersecurity as a means of protecting everyone. Not just protecting, but it's just zero vulnerabilities or zero attacks.
Yeah.
Then they realize that it's not really possible. It's a myth. Absolute security is a myth.
Yeah.
Then you have to think realistically and think about how to reduce the impact, how to reduce your risk. So always work under the impression that you're breached, your data is exposed. So work under that impression and that will protect you. Then do all the basic measures like enable 2FA across all the accounts, multi-factor authentication across all accounts, and give only access to those people who absolutely needs it to your data. Suppose you have a mobile phone and someone is asking for your mobile phone for a minute. Hey, I just need a mobile phone for doing something.
Yeah.
Usually there are options in most of these mobile phones to create maybe, I think there was an option in Android a while ago to create a profile. Right? Or again, you can restrict access your laptop. Right? You can restrict access when we give it to someone else. So basically, this is what I do. In a nutshell, this is what I do to protect myself.
That's actually super useful. That is something we could all use at all.
Yes.
Because, again, as we get more and more digital, our attack vectors are increasing and we become more vulnerable to threats that we don't even know existed like a week ago.